We're all accustomed to hearing concerns and trends related to female body image, but the current state of body image among young men seems to fly under the radar. We thought it was worth looking into how some young guys are viewing themselves and learning more about the lesser-known disorder of muscle dysmorphia. I spoke to Professor Lena Ricciardelli from the School of Psychology at Deakin University, who specialises on the topic, and Dr. Ben Buchanan, who runs a treatment program for sufferers of muscle dysmorphia.
This is where a person will be concerned that they're not muscly enough and will constantly think about how they can put on muscle mass, working out at the gym obsessively in order to build muscle.
And what are the common signs to look for someone with muscle dysmorphia?
But the telltale signs are if someone's going to the gym really frequently, someone is really concerned and really rigid in terms of their diet, not attending social events because of fear of social evaluation. Another telltale sign is if they're continually comparing themselves with really muscly people or continually looking at the internet for ways to put on muscle mass.
I only reviewed a paper 2 nights ago. It was a systematic content analysis of websites. These were particular websites about males and bulking up and exercising regimes, and very much related to muscle dysmorphia, similar to a lot of websites that teach young girls how to diet and unfortunately are promoting anorexia and eating disorders. There were over 200 of them that are encouraging all kinds of strategies for young men to become more muscular, and it really is topical at the moment. Just the volume of messages being pushed out for men that has become mainstream now, and the marketing world has caught on to the other half of the population so they can make a lot of money. It's very hard to separate the health world, the fitness world, and then the image-conscious consumerism, appearance culture that's gone way out of control.
And how prevalent is it among men in Australia?
It might be about 1%, but certainly among weightlifters or people who are going to the gym really frequently, the estimates range between about 13% and 44%.
What's your approach for helping people who develop this?
We know that most people with muscle dysmorphia won't seek psychological treatment. They don't think that they've got a mental problem at all. In fact, they think that their anguish around their body image is not because they've got muscle dysmorphia. They think it's actually because they're not muscly enough. It's not uncommon for me to see people who have had muscle dysmorphia for a decade before something in their mind goes, oh, maybe it's not a problem with lack of muscle mass. Maybe it's actually a problem with anxiety and body image. So the main treatment is a psychological therapy called cognitive behavior therapy, which essentially is about the person understanding that their thoughts are creating these intense feelings of anxiety, and also empowering people to know that these intrusive thoughts about them not being muscly enough aren't true. This is a really insidious disorder where, it affects many, many parts of our life and our brain, and that we end up believing and buying into the lie.
What do you think the impact is of males becoming so much more body conscious?
There's pluses. Changing the stereotypes, those stereotypes in that area are becoming more equal, but the pressures to achieve the ideal body size and to be constantly consumed by appearance concerns, and that can lead to feeling inadequate, depression, perfectionist tendencies and eating disorders. People are at risk of psychological issues, relationship problems because of the overemphasis on the cosmetic nature of the body.
And what's the relationship between muscle dysmorphia and the use of anabolic steroids?
Yeah, so we know that people who have muscle dysmorphia have a really high instance of using steroids. And this is really dangerous for a number of reasons. Coming off steroids, it's emotionally devastating. So these people who are already emotionally vulnerable because there's extreme anxiety around the way they appear also run the risk of the withdrawal from steroids, which we know is a precipitant to depression.
And I'm sure this flies under the radar because so many people who look like they're in really good shape and people know them as fit and healthy and confident actually are the ones suffering from it, but it's just so hard to see from the outside perspective unless you actually live that lifestyle.
Absolutely. And muscle dysmorphia is really an invisible disorder. It's really under-recognised and under-researched. Every single person I've met has heard of anorexia, but people haven't really heard of muscle dysmorphia.
Whatever the media of the times is, we need to be taught more about it in a critical way. Young people are very savvy. They're not stupid. They're not fooled, but yet they are fooled at one level.